What's up, guys? I'm in the car. It's good to be back. I've been busy at work the last few days. Haven't been able to get out hunting. And now we're back. It's Wednesday now. We have this weekend. So we have today through the weekend and then next week. And then the season is coming to an end. So it's definitely time to make some stuff happen. My dad got that really nice bull on, what was that, Sunday? I think that was Sunday. He got a nice bull on Sunday. Nice 6-point Roosevelt. You guys can go back and watch that video. Pretty fresh sign. I think there's an elk down there. I just heard some loud crashing. It definitely sounded like an elk. I'm gonna try to, I don't know. I think I'm gonna try to slide down. The wind is really good right now. I think I'm gonna try to slide down just to get a better look. So I was up top and I got over to my little bench that I like to bugle off of. I blew a few cow calls while I was up on top. It sounded like I could hear small branches breaking down here at the bottom by the pond. I wasn't quite sure. It is pretty windy today. And in these trees, the wind, like trees are moving around, so it kind of sounded like maybe it was just the branches. But I wasn't quite sure. So I decided to slide down just a little bit to the next bench, get a better listen. I got down there, and I was just standing there listening. Some loud crashing down here. It sounded definitely like elk. And I couldn't see anything, so I blew a few more cow calls after I heard it. And I just listened and I didn't see nothing. I couldn't see anything, but I didn't hear anything more, so I decided to slide all the way down here to the bottom. It's a nice elk trail to take. So I jumped on that There's fresh tracks all around this pond here. I think the elk were definitely in here. I think what I heard was elk. I mean, it was pretty loud. It definitely sounded like elk, but like I said, it's a little windy, so it's hard to say. I mean, it could have been a branch falling from a tree. You know, it's hard to say when it's kind of windy out. But I'm pretty sure it was elk with all the signs that I'm seeing all over the place. They're not down here now, though. I think maybe what I heard was that loud crashing was them moving. Maybe they went up that ridge over there. Went that way. I'm not really sure. Right up the road here is where I missed that bull opening week. I figured I'd drive down here to the dead end. Probably rip a bugle. That's why I got the bugle tube here. And see if anything is around. I just checked another spot. Kind of walked through the trees at the dead end of another little skid road. Sat up on the ridge there and ripped a couple bugles, a few cow calls. No response. So I'm checking another spot. I'm driving to go find another spot to check. This canyon, it's got a big loop. Like you could take the gravel road and it does a big loop around it. So I'm just checking different spots along this canyon as I go around this loop. This is kind of how the evenings have been. Not really hearing a lot of bugles. I've found elk in the evenings, but just really haven't heard many bugles. The mornings have been scream fests. I mean, I've heard so many bugles in the mornings. It's like from first light until noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The bulls are bugling, and then after that I have just struggled to find any elk that'll bugle. So I'm just checking some spots, driving this, doing the loop, going to different skid roads, bugling, listening, hoping I can find something before it gets dark, because I don't have too much daylight left. Alright, driving down this next skid road here, and let's get you in focus. Look at that. What I'm doing, and you guys have probably been able to just catch on, I'm just calling down into these holes across, like in this spot here, that good vantage there. The sound would travel down and it could travel that whole hillside on the other side. What I'm trying to do is get a response. If there was an elk in this clear cut right now and it bugled back to me, I would probably have enough daylight to maybe out and get down to it and try to call it in. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just trying to locate an elk. I didn't even see that robe on the way in. Drove right past it, didn't even see it. That's a nice one. It's actually an old one and a new one. Rub the same tree in the same spot. You can see the old on the bottom. Let's see if I can zoom in on it a little bit here. focus for you guys. There you go. You can see it's old on the bottom and new on top. Love seeing rubs in September, guys. Love seeing rubs in September. Let's see here. Let's see if I can zoom in. Kind of show you guys. My plan was to come hike back here. I got some intel about some elk on some private. They went back into the trees, and the trees are public land behind the private. And I got some intel about a herd, nice couple bulls in there that went back in there. So my plan was to come in here after I got that phone call. I was gonna come in here and hike in, but they're actively logging it right now. So that's not gonna happen. This is where I hike in, is right here. Back to the drawing board. Alright. So I'm back here in the canyon. It's about 3 o'clock. I got probably about 4 hours of daylight, so I have lots of time today. Maybe a little over 4 hours of daylight. I figured, oh, that wind. I thought it was something wrong with the bushes. I figured should have lots of time today. Get back in here. I did just see a truck pulling down the next skid road over from where I am right now. It does look like tire tracks came. There's a landing at the top of this road. Looks like they came down and then went to that landing. So hopefully he wasn't in here poking around all morning. I wasn't able to get out this morning like I wanted to. So kind of woke up late, trying to transition from night shift back to being awake during the day. So it's about 3 o'clock right now. I think I'm just gonna ride this ridge. I'll probably rip a few bugles. They haven't really been bugling much in the afternoon or the evenings, so I'm just gonna kind of ride this ridge. It's nice and dark in here. It's very hot today. Today is the hottest day it's been in a while, it feels like. So I would imagine they wouldn't go too far from water. This is what we're gonna do. I'm still down here, kind of by the pond. I took a break. I've been back here about an hour. I haven't heard nothing or seen nothing. I just took a break. I was looking at onyx. I feel like the elk are in here somewhere. They're in this canyon somewhere. They're just not over here. They're not on this side, so I'm thinking what I need to do is maybe go to the other side of the canyon. There's a spot on the other side that you can hike in that we've talked about hiking in a couple times this year. And we went and looked at it. At least in the beginning it looks a little thick. That's why we didn't do it that day. But I think that would get me back on the other side of the canyon, on the other other side of this ridge here. I think it might be over there. I don't know. That's a good sign. Right there. That's a real good sign. There's a bunch of fresh sign in here. All up and down this ridge. There's trails. I've seen lots of fresh sign. Seen that rub back there. Just following this ridge is definitely starting to open up more. Tons of sign. Nice trails. At a real good spot where I can see down. It's pretty deep. And on the other side, it's a big drainage on the other side, so I think it's a good spot to rip a bugle. Get that sound to travel. Well, nothing. Would have climbed back to the car though, I'll tell you that. Alright. Let's go check some more spots, guys. We have a couple more hours daylight. See what we can find. Story time, guys. There's the car. There's the car. I was driving up, going to Hubcap, which ain't that far from here. Trying to get there before it gets dark. I'm driving up, and right down here, seen a cow. Oh, that's an elk. So, as I was driving up from here, so I parked the car up there. Turn you guys around, trying to show you guys. But that cow was down here in this thinning. So I grabbed my bow. I left the camera in the car, left my phone, left everything. I just grabbed my bow. And that cow was right over there, in between those trees, kind of back by that back tree. That back tree back there. There's a cow standing over there. So I got down here. This is this trail here that goes down. It's all overgrown down there. I got down here. I could see that cow. And I ranged it. The cow was about 70. And I knocked an arrow just in case. And then a calf right here by this big bushy tree went running. I didn't even see the calf. And there's a draw right there, right by that bushy tree. And about 8 more elk came out of that draw as they all started running. And a nice big, looked like probably a 5-point bull. Not super tall, but pretty wide. He came out with them. A cow called, and I got him to stop back there. Kind of, let's see here. Kind of back in there. There's some bushes back there. I got him to stop, but he was in the bushes. All I could see was his head and horns looking back at me. And that's still quite a shot for distance wise. And there was no shot at all. I mean, he was in the bushes. And then they went down, and I went after him. I crawled down. I got down on a point over here. I was looking down in the canyon down there, and I could hear him going all the way down. Yeah, so there's my story. all the hiking and you find one off the road and you park the car and you go after them and you still mess it up, you know? Like, it was nice to see some elk, that's for sure. I wish I could have got a shot on him. If I would have known he was in that draw, because that draw's only 50 yards or so. I just didn't know he was in there. I didn't know where all the elk were. I just seen the one cow and the calf ended up busting me. So, well, back to the drawing board.
Set me on fire. Set me on fire. Set me on fire. Set me on. Set me on.